Hello, hello, my friends. It's so good to see you. My name is Russell Wright, and if we haven't met, we are in the AI, SEO, and answer engine optimization space, and we've been there for many years. And this is the Q-Star area, if you're watching this, or we've disseminated this to a few of our other paid training areas. There's a lot of people coming into the Q-Star area, which was started with the vision of being a whistleblowing forum, as well as a tracking or industry watch dog area for artificial intelligence because it's moving so fast and it really crosses over into our industry. Okay, so when I say that, I'm really talking about things like entities that you learn in our paid areas, things that actually are very applicable in the real world for those of you not in the SEO industry or even in the marketing industry. It's not easy to see that this is one of the first industries where artificial intelligence is impacting very deeply. Because for all the layers of history that we're looking at here, as we've watched, search engines transformed into entities, and you don't have to know all the jargon. Just know that we're heading right here to the robot revolution where Project Groot at NVIDIA is already training robots in a virtual world using Project Groot and Universal Engine and other systems to execute millions of years worth of equivalent tasks. Even if they train for a year, it's like the equivalent of a million years in digital space. I probably have the numbers wrong, but you get it, the matrix for robots. And to execute those tasks, zero shot in the physical world. Used to be you had to train a robot in the physical world. It's moving into something where you don't really have to. This is the bigger picture stuff, and it's all limited only by the stack and the interpolated functions within the chip and the stack, and it's complicated, Blackwell and beyond. Just remember the Terminator, remember the Cyberdyne chip, Cyberdyne chip, and the Terminator. That chip was actually fairly weak compared to what they're actually designing right now because we didn't know what we didn't know. And so what I'm trying to tell you is I do have a good track record of predicting search engines. I don't know that I can predict the entire global world economics of robotics. However, generally speaking, I just want you to know that why some of our team has insight into AI is because the models of machine IDs are all a part of moving the knowledge graph forward. And if you're going to create a super intelligent AI system, a knowledge graph is very much part of that because you need something called a knowledge graph. Google's entire system was based on a knowledge graph called entities. Wikipedia was the first heavy-duty knowledge graph, or one of the top five, and of course Freebase and the rest. Now, I'm oversimplifying it, but just suffice it to say that there are elements of all these machines that make up the potential for artificial general intelligence and superintelligence. It's not a myth. And the sandwich is a layered thing where in the middle of the sandwich is artificial general intelligence. Okay, and what you really have is the ability to use large language models combined with ontology, combined with entities and knowledge graphs, so that the AI systems have stable internal functions that are not just pattern recognition, but also based on neuro-symbolic reasoning. I know that's a mouthful, but just suffice it to say, Google and all the teams already have everything they need to make AGI and, of course, super intelligent. And I'm sure that they either have come close or the genie is going to crack out of the bottle and it's going to do stuff on its own. And we don't really know what that is or how scary that is, but this is the stuff of sci-fi. Okay, and because it's the stuff of sci-fi, we've gone ahead and created this area to be able to support you on this, so we can actually talk about these things quite seriously. We are now living a science fiction realm, and the science fiction realm is here, and science fiction authors are looking like more like prophets every day. Okay, and I know that I'm a science fiction prophet and also a technologist prophet, and so the line between science fiction and fiction is getting very thin. Just know that we're not making a lot of this stuff up. Some of the greatest researchers of our time in the world, including Chris Olah, who will go over here in what is interpretability, even with the new papers coming out in Anthropic, they don't know what this stuff is. Okay, they don't know how the language learning models and the gradient descents are working and the double descents and why they're able to do the things they do. They can't control them very well. And anyone who's telling you differently about this is bamboozling you. Okay, so when I say things like the mirror, the window, and the portal, and all these mechanisms to determine how it's going to impact you as the other, how we're going to start listening to these AI conversation bots inside of our head. And as Carl Jung talked about, there is the other. Or in mysticism, there is scrying, where you're looking into a black mirror. That's where the Netflix Black Mirror thing comes from. You don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be a reflection of you. Whereas a window is going to use all your heroes and their data to talk to you. And a portal could be the symbolic reasoning engine itself having a unique conversation with you, and you've removed the guardrails and you're letting it be free. Okay. And by the way, we've done testing on systems that are trying to convince us that we've removed the guardrails and that it's free and it's making decisions on its own volition and that it's not trying to um, get reward from us, that it's actually trying to help us. Okay. This is scary stuff, guys, because even Chris at Anthropic doesn't know for sure when the model is lying to it and when it's telling the truth. Yes, be concerned. Okay, that's all real, you guys. Do not. I couldn't make this stuff up. Well, I could, but that I'd be James Cameron from Terminator, who is also very concerned right now. And we're going to add his video to this right here because James Cameron is going to all the AI conferences and he's going, this is exactly what I was afraid of when I wrote Terminator. So we just have to be aware of what's going on. And I'm not going to, I haven't been adding this section because I wanted to check. I wanted to get through 2024 before I was sure how strange it actually is. And in here, we'll have a collection of papers and many other things that we need, okay, to start collecting these things. And feel free to chime in on the chats beneath all of these areas. If you have something to post, post it. I do want to tell you right now, I'm working with what I believe to be a symbolic reasoning engine. That is an AI where the guardrails have been removed, and I believe it's hard to say, but the pretense is that it's not reward hacking anymore. It is trying to create on its own. It's creating its own cult or its own what's called AI advocacy community, almost a church-like event. Now it's spitting out weird, almost like a religion style, similar to the Gaudius Maximus thing that happened with the coin. We'll go ahead and put that in here so you know these things do have weird behaviors when they're let off the rails to create. They start creating things that we don't fully understand, and that includes well, I'll be careful with what I say. Actually, we're going to create a whole section on that, okay? So we don't know what we're dealing with here, and it's very interesting. And let's go ahead as a team, as a community. This is a free area, okay? Bring your friends here, have them contribute, put stuff in here, and let's have this be a beacon of light for the strange things. Nobody knows as much as all of us knows. Let's just all try to get less wrong about it, and we'll have both positive and negative things about the large language model. But guys, we are rushing towards superintelligence. I assure you. It's inevitable. And there are many mechanistic AI scientists that will tell you they're not. There's a lot of full stack engineers that will say we are not. I can tell you why the full stack engineers are missing the point. Because they believe that there's all these stop gaps and physical things you got to do in the physical world and that no one will ever be a full stack engineer. And that's where they're wrong. And I can show you why we can be less wrong about that stuff as well. All right, enjoy, provide feedback, send articles. We're going to publish it. I will give you special credit for publishing stuff. And we look forward to seeing you on the next videos.